Recently played through a pretty damn good randomizer for Final Fantasy 1. Final Fantasy Randomizer.com. Oh, that's a nice little easy commander website. And I had an absolute blast. Now, the thing about Final Fantasy 1 is, if you can actually find a way to kill some of the high level enemies, which you probably could if you have a fighter or whatever it is, if you can find a way to kill them, you can get huge ass XP. It's one of those things where if they throw just something to exploit at you, you'll become overpowered relatively quickly, or you can just grind through that shit. Of course, the other option would be you running into just, what's up, Brian, you little bastard? You'll just run into just a freaking goofy ass just brick wall, and I remember that it was one of the damn ones I run, and I decided to quit. Is I'm running into a damn like a section of 9 little carapee fishes. Normally you'd blow right through them. They were casting like Chaos's freaking moves. They're like doing Quake and like freaking Scourge and all kinds of other nuclear doom crap, and just blowing my guys up one hit. I'm like, yeah, that's not going to be pretty cool. So I'm going to go through just a couple of these things that I really, off the top of my head, that I remember that I like. Now in shops you can just randomize what's in the shop, so you can sit there and you can buy your super duper gears, or you can buy like level 8 spells, and then maybe even put your level 8 spells work on level 1. You can really break the game this way. About to sneeze up on here. That's great, Brian. Let's leave that in there. You can have it like random items, or just casting random spells. A lot of this shit will just melt that game in like 2 seconds. I honestly did not fiddle with that because I want some sort of semblance of balance when I play this crap, instead of this random insanity, just insane nothingness. And for these randomizers, you really got to kind of make your own fun in a lot of ways. And so, it took me several goes actually on this one because of the nature of Final Fantasy 1. Being a little punk bastard rough game, to try to get that just right balance that I thought was fun and interesting. Now enemies, you can, if you just shuffle script shit, that's what makes your damn freaking imps cast nuclear death weapon on your ass. So you probably not you run any of that kind of shit. Let's see, you can change the unrunnable formations, because there's formations you run into the game that are absolutely unrunnable. I recommend that if you're running with crazy random shit, you need to be able to run from any monster. So I would definitely fiddle with that, and you can make it where you can run from any encounter besides your super bosses or whatever. You can absolutely start off with a bunch of cool stuff, like starting off with an airship and then just having like the whole damn all of the caves and towns randomized, and so you kind of just pick and poach and trying to find your key items that you need for the game. That would probably be a pretty good mod. You can change how the treasures are, and so you can make randomized stuff. So there, it's just like I particularly like that. And you might end up with like 7 ice swords or some shit throughout the game. Pretty cool stuff right there. You can make sure your Masamune, which every character can use, even if they can't use gear, they can use the Masamune. That's a pretty good thing right there. You can control how the Masamune drops and how many of them and stuff like that. Now these incentive things, I've ended up playing a lot with these. When you randomize your key items, you might be going and working your ass through some crazy dungeon, and you finally get to the bottom, and you finally get a ruby or some shit, and you haven't even ran into the Titan to give him the ruby because you don't know where the fucking Titan is, and you got these key items stuff. So I gave it there, and you can get some of these nice power items right here that, Masamune is pretty damn broken, but these nice power items, and to help give you additional incentives as you do the key items. Didn't mess with the goals, but you can change out what you need to do, whether you just need to get the chaos, or if you need to maybe collect some chaos emeralds or some shit, or just get the fiends, or maybe not even get the fiends. Now on the map randomization, I ran pretty intense into that. Dude, it was freaking fun. You stepped into a town, it could be a dungeon, or you could be going deep into a dungeon, and then like several layers down you pop into a town. Very fun. It's also chaotic as shit because you don't know what you're going to happen. It's pretty helpful. Well, I definitely don't play through randomizers if you're not familiar with the game, but it's definitely helpful to know through when you step through the areas, like, I'm in the ice cave now, or I'm in the fire freaking guru volcano, and to kind of know where you need to allegedly know to go, or allegedly where the key items might be. Who knows where they know? And you're in the ice cave and you run into shit that's from the water palace. I mean, that kind of stuff happens all the time. It added a lot of just, you never knew what you was going to run into. It was a pain in the ass to chase down some of the key items, though. When I got lost one time and I couldn't find where I needed to go, I had to just go back and literally write down every freaking thing I've been to. It's like, okay, well that cave is actually a town. It's like, this cave is going to be me a key item. This cave right here is a transport to another area. All this kind of crazy shit. It's like just mind-blowing stuff that I actually had a blast with, because I've played through Final Fantasy like dozens of times, and so that brings a lot to it. Now here you can scale the prices. You can give them random prices per run. You can scale the enemy hit points. You can scale the EXP. Me personally, I like to leave the EXP default, because if you're walking around kind of lost in these type of games and you have a decent EXP gain, even if you're fighting broken bullshit monsters, you'll just way over leveled. You'll be like freaking 50 something. You'll match level otherwise. Now, when we get down to the party and class system, this is where, dude, I was losing my mind. It was awesome. You essentially, where was that at? It's not. I don't think it's in the party. The party composition allows you to pick what characters you could choose from, and you might also could set it up where, like, as you're running through the game, you get like hireable mercenaries, and you might start off with one character and you could get more people, kind of like Dragon Warrior would do, or you can or just like you get a rewarded character, and that can be random. So you might be rewarded with a shit character, or just get the same fucking 4 characters. I mean, it's very possible. Now this right here, which is called Blusred classes, and then chaos mode, dude, this is the damn thing right here. What it essentially does, it gives you it randomizes the classes, and so you might have a fighter that can't use damn weapons, and he has to punch and cast magic, and I use that to just create just some hodgepodge people that you're just, they might have great hit points and no defense, or they might have no defense but good offense. Is all kinds of, or they might just suck at everything and they can't wear anything, and they're like, what are you even doing? You can't use magic, you're not a freaking fighter. It's just like, oh, you must be a thief class. You must be the thief. You rearranging the thief and bringing them all in. And then there's a couple of balances to try to balance out some of these things, because something like, say, a black belt who could still be unarmed and will still get the unarmed bonus is like, well, it would be obvious that you would pick the black belt every time, because he would be able to break through most of this bullshit. And then there's some nice conveniences like speed run and buying quantity, so you don't have to buy one damn potion at a time. Shit that should just be baked in to Final Fantasy, and it is honestly in the later ports and stuff. And then some bug fixes to try to fix all the crazy ass bugs that Final Fantasy 1 on the NES have. I really had a lot of fun with this. It's one of those things you gotta fiddle with to kind of make your own fun. But even if it's not Final Fantasy, if you haven't played a randomizer yet, you're doing yourself a disservice. So find a game that you really, really like, and hopefully, if other people really like it, it has a randomizer for it, at least on PC, and sometimes even on PlayStation. But these things are damn great. They're fun. They're fun to fiddle with, even if you can't go through and beat it. But I did go through with my crazy Blusred classes, chaos mode, and randomized dungeons, and did beat the game. And I've got a playthrough coming up for that. Man, I had so much fun fiddling with this, and so we highly recommend it. Don't play the Final Fantasy 1 randomizer if you haven't been through Final Fantasy 1. That should be the first thing you should go through there. But if you have, definitely do that. And there's other randomizers out there for like Final Fantasy 6 that are just amazing and impeccable. They can change the whole way the game's played. All paws up, Brian. You wanted the paw up? Brian's not even looking. He don't even care. But you're the Red Wizard buddy, aren't you? He is my little Red Wizard. But highly recommend. And so take a look at this kind of shit on maybe not Final Fantasy, maybe on the one a game that you like to play. Like and subscribe and all that shit.